What's going on, YouTube? This is Jim Afanis, aka Viper Magic, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about Destiny. Specifically, Peter Dinklage's removal of the voice of the ghost in Destiny. So it was announced a few days ago that Nolan North would be taking the reins from the Taken King expansion onward. However, that is going to include a re-recording of all of Peter Dinklage's lines through the original core game and then both expansions. So Peter Dinklage is no more. The only way you can still hear him is by the Ghost Edition, which I do have, the actual little ghost figurine. That's the only way you're going to hear him anymore. I'm not disappointed about this at all. Rather, I know a lot of you guys are Game of Thrones fans. I've never watched the show. Doesn't mean I won't, but I haven't yet. So I have no love lost or any love for Peter Dinklage. As a matter of fact, if you go back way in the archives of my channel, way back in the early days when I was still using a really crappy microphone, I commented after playing the alpha in Destiny that the voice actor was clearly a placeholder because the voice recording was so dull. And I didn't know at the time that that was Peter Dinklage. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know what his voice sounded like. I've never heard of the guy before. So I thought that they were just putting a placeholder in, because I've played a lot of alphas and betas, and a lot of times you'll get stuff that just says insert cutscene here, or more quest dialogue will go here. World of Warcraft is notorious for that. When I played through the Cataclysm expansion, for example, there's this really cool cutscene when your character becomes the Worgen for the first time. He actually transforms into the actual werewolf. And there's a big, one of the characters walks up to you and it talks and it says, insert cutscene here in all caps. So I thought it was similar to that, actually, but I come to find out that that was actually Peter Dinklage recording those lines. And they came off horrible. And I know a lot of people, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there saying that, well, Destiny was very clearly gutted from a greater game, and these people play tested it, and all these great things were in there that were taken out. And that may all be well and true. We'll probably never definitively know the answer. And then a lot of people say, well, he is a ghost after all, or a robot after all. I mean, what can you really expect from a robot? But think about the personality that was injected into R2-D2, which is just beeps, right? C-3PO, and a slew of other cyborg-type characters that joined you, along your way. GLaDOS is a perfect example of that. Apparently, though, they liked the job he did because they kept his lines in there. Now, whether it was a last-minute thing and they're like, oh, we're just going to go with what it is, we'll never know. And I'm sure people have probably tried to ask Peter himself, but there's probably NDAs in place, and he probably just won't talk about it. But I would love to know the answer, at least behind his motivation of recording it. It came out not too long ago, actually, that the voice actors for the original Resident Evil game weren't very clear on what was going on. They were just handed scripts, and they recorded all the lines in many different ways, and they just didn't know what the context of the game was, even reading through the script that they had. And it was up to game developers, it was Japanese game developers, I believe, who didn't understand the language, but heard inflections and picked recordings based solely off the inflection of how they were speaking, which is why you get a lot of these goofy lines like Jill, the master of lockpicking. It made no sense. Now, why the voice actor would even record it like that? Maybe he just was bored and he's like, well, I'm going to throw this take out there and we'll see if we control the Capcom dudes, and they did. I'm not really sure, but clearly the creators of Destiny felt that he did a good enough job because they didn't try to at a last minute go back and fix it. So I guess we'll never really know, but I think we can all agree that it sucks. And I have nothing against him. I don't know him. I don't know any of his work. I've never seen him in anything, but the voice acting sucks. And to get someone else in there, anyone else, me, is a great idea. So Nolan North, a very famous voice actor, most notably from Nathan Drake in the Uncharted series, is going to take the helm and apparently going to inject a lot more charisma into the whole experience. Now, I know that they also announced that you will be able to jump right into the Taken King content immediately. You will not have to go back and play the other old content. If you're playing with a friend, they'll automatically boost you. But seeing as I have just wrapped up my Warlock leveling and my main Titan is obviously already there, I think this is a great opportunity when the expansion comes out to play through a fresh Hunter, which I have yet to play, just to see and hear what the Ghost's interaction is. I'm very excited for that. I don't want to read too much into the news. They may just simply be re-recording all the lines he has, but it would be nice if he took more of a Cortana role and he was always in your ear and always kind of talking, the narrator kind of the game on your behalf. Because let's face it, I believe your character has maybe a minute or so worth of dialogue. And there's only one moment in between when you meet up with the mysterious woman. I don't even know what her name was. Don't get me started on how messed up the plot is. But she's the female, not even guardian, who's just kind of following you around. And she calls your ghost Little Light, and she kind of pushes it out of the way. And she's like, you need to go do this now. And right before you leave, your character, for me it was an Exo Titan, turns to your ghost and says, come on, Little Light. And that's the only heartwarming interaction that you have with your ghost in the entire game. Obviously, he was absent in both expansions. But to have him around, have that little interaction, it was like, that's sad that you can name that as the only heartfelt interaction that these two characters had. So I'm very excited that they're going to be re-recording, and I hope more of that comes. I want my ghost to be a part of my experience, much as Cortana is part of the Spartan John 117's experience. Do you know what I'm saying? And yes, I know it's the Master Chief, but to me, he's John 117, okay? Anyways, I'm very excited for this, and I hope, again, not reading too much into it, that this comes to fruition and that it definitely retells the core experience. And I'm looking forward to replaying it just for those snippets to find out. Now, if in a mission or two I find out that it sucks, I'm going to boost ahead and I'm going to say, forget it. You had your chance and you blew it, not once, but twice. Anyways, we will see. Taken King comes out in about a month from now, and I am very excited. So, let me know what you all think about Peter Dinklage's replacement. Let me know what you think about Nolan North. Let me think what you think about the chance of the ghost kind of being more of a personality. And if so, would it encourage you to replay to see all those lines, or are you just going to take it at face value and we'll pick it up from Taken King going on? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching. Please do me a favor. Comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know what you all think. And until next time, I will see you guys on the other side.